Hey, folks, we're just waiting for the rest of the trust members to join us in the meeting, so just bear with us a moment.
I see Suzanne. I just promoted her to panelist. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi there. Thank you for that. I don't have the panelists ID. I need to get that from you for next time.
No worries. I'm just letting you know. I thought perhaps that might happen, but we are live right now and recording, and we have Brian here and Andy Port is here. We're just waiting for Karen to have a quorum to start the meeting.
Okay, great. Okay. We'll just wait for a quorum.
Okay, and we're also joined. I see Tiffany Nigro from Pettingill is here, and we have representation from Minco.
Okay.
Yep, Lumina Cucci. I did just, for clarification, I did just send out panelist invites to those who may not be with us just yet. So hopefully they have those in their inboxes right now.
Okay. Thanks.
And here's Karen. I see her.
Wonderful.
Okay. And I think I believe the mayor also invited Robert Courier, who I believe is also in the attendance list, and he's interested in joining the Housing Trust.
Oh,
so
good.
He's also in the audience.
Wonderful.
But it looks like we have a quorum, Suzanne, so whenever you're ready.
Wonderful. Hello, everybody. This meeting is called to order. It is, what time is it? 6:03 on September 30th. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. I'd like to welcome everyone here in the trust, in the staff, and also our guests today. I can't see you, but you can probably see me. I also would like to extend a warm welcome to Brian Reisch, our newest trustee. Welcome, Brian. I don't know if any of you were able to hear Brian speak at public comment at council committee and the general meeting, but he has an impressive resume. So Brian, if you can just tell us about yourself.
Sure, thanks, Suzanne. Hello, everyone. My name's Brian Reisch. I've lived in Newburyport since 2007. Originally grew up in New Hampshire. I sell real estate for William Ravis Real Estate here in town. Also do consulting work for nonprofits doing fundraising. Also a rector of a church in Reading where we do a lot of affordable housing. And I work on the board of Dinah's House in Haverhill, which is a center for women and children who are underserved. So we do a lot of work. I'm the chair of that board. So we do a lot of work to support the kids and find housing for these folks, job training, a lot of grants for job training in English as a second language. Very committed to affordable housing, and with Suzanne's inspiration, happy to be part of this group. So I look forward to learning more and hopefully to contributing.
Thank you, Brian. We're so lucky to have you. And I know, as those of you on the trust know, and our administrators know, and our audience knows, we are, everyone has these amazing resumes and live very busy lives. And so we're just really lucky to have such great talent here on the trust. So welcome again.
Thank you, Brian.
Our first up on the agenda is our regular report out from Tiffany Nigro from the Pettingill House on our emergency rental assistance program. Tiffany. Is she on or?
She is on
She's
and
coming.
unmuted on our end.
Oh, okay. I can't see. I don't know why.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Thank
Perfect.
you.
All right. So yes, thanks everyone. Happy fall.
Happy fall.
So I sent the report along earlier this week. To date, we've assisted one household in the amount of $1,180 for October rent, and that was to serve two elders in the community. One is congratulations to them for returning back to work. It's been a long wait to help sustain their monthly, not only rent, but all of their household expenses. We also have 3 applications that are pending. We are awaiting some employment information For one, a landlord verification, for another in a W-9 form. So three strong applicants that we've, collected the information from. We've screened for that they are COVID qualified. All the income information is qualified as well. And again, like we have in the past, if there are families that are, well beyond the means that we can help them with this financial assistance, it's working with other agencies in the area, but also Raft. They've gone through a little transition. I know they're overwhelmed. All systems are overwhelmed. So it's just working together, working with the landlords, because again, it continues to be difficult times for people. We're not out of this yet. But I want to say thank you, to the Newburyport Housing Trust, to the mayor, to the city of Newburyport for, putting financial assistance funding available to the Newburyport residents for those who are in need to help provide this, this vital stabilization. So, kudos to you in having this available. So.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, and to your organization. You're doing an amazing job. Just a point of clarification. This is in the packet, but for those of you new to our emergency rental assistance program, Tiffany just went over our second round data. We had a first round that we spent down in the amount of $100,000, and we helped many families. Do you have that rundown just so that we can just update folks with the first round numbers? How many families we supported, or households, I should say? I'm afraid to toggle out of this because I may never see you again.
I have it, Tiffany, in case
Okay.
you don't have it handy.
Yep, yeah, whoever has it. Yep.
Yes, I have a total of 32 households, which we served 32 households that included 8 elders, 37 adults, and 27 children in the city of Newburyport. And like you said, totaling $100,000.
That's fabulous. So, but for this program, what folks may have lost their housing. And so we are so proud and delighted to be partnering with the Pettingill House in this. We will be talking a little later about our next rental assistance program, which will be non-COVID emergencies. We'll get to that a little bit later, but any questions for Tiffany, or Tiffany, do you have anything else to report?
Just that, again, like we've done before, kind of doing more community outreach. I know in the past we've reached out. I just mentioned it at the Greater Newburyport Social Service meeting with, local providers, the Newburyport Youth Services. We'll be reaching back out to the school chambers. So people are aware there is additional funding available for those that are in need. Because like you had said, Suzanne, it's like if people are in need in Newburyport, that they know that it's available to them, so they don't run into the situation of getting to a court eviction. We want to be in a preventative stage before it even reaches that point, and working together with the individual and landlord to avoid that.
Right, and now more than ever, with moratoriums being lifted as well. So we want to make sure we stay on top of it. Great. Any questions, comments from the panel? Okay. Tiffany, thank you.
Tiffany.
Thank you.
Alrighty, have a great evening. Unless you'd like to stay on, that's fine, but we'll see you next time.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Next on the agenda, the project introduction, the 166, 168 Route 1 project. Did we have something to share, another
Yes, it looks like we have
Okay.
Karen Palestrino from Minco ready to
Okay.
give a few remarks.
Wonderful. Welcome, Karen.
Hi, Karen, you're unmuted on our end if you wanted to hit mute on your side. Looks like perhaps there's a little bit of difficulty on the audio.
Does she need a moment, or is it, we can always move on and come back if that's.
Okay, that's probably a good idea, it seems.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here I see Lou had just popped on. Let me allow him to talk.
Okay, wonderful.
Just as a reminder for anyone who has a call-in number, there is a number on the website you can use as well if you're having an issue with Zoom's audio.
Hi, can you hear me? This is Lou Minicucci.
Hi, Lou. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay,
Lou, Lou,
I'm
sorry.
having a little problem with my volume, but
Yeah, Lou, sorry. I'm not sure if it's you, but if anybody is running two devices in the same room, if you could mute one of them, that'll prevent the echo.
hi, sorry about that.
That's okay. We'll figure out the echo at some point.
Yeah, whoever has two devices in one room, that's probably where it's coming from. And if that's Lou, if that's you, if you could mute whatever device is also emitting audio.
Is yours on? Okay.
It's right here.
You still with us, Lou?
All right. I'm sorry that. So do you want me to speak now?
Yes, please. Yeah, it's fine. We can hear you fine. It's just a little echoey, but go right ahead. You're on.
Okay, well, I apologize about the difficulties. My name's Lou Minicucci and I'm with Minco Development. We are the developers that did One Boston Way, which is 76 units, and we have 25% of those units are affordable. We're currently under construction at 3 Boston Way, which has 84 units, and again, 25% of those units are affordable as well. We are now proposing a third development of approximately 93 units with 25% affordable. So as it stands right now, it's about 24 additional units at the what we refer to as a site formerly operated by Haley's Ice Cream. And as you're facing Haley's to the right, there's a large white industrial metal building that we own as well. It's about 2 acres of land, and there'll be a 3-story and a 4-story building, of which we'll have, as I said, 24 affordable units. So the plan, I can see the plan on the screen. And we right now in the process of finalizing our design, so I didn't want to share that unless Andy has some images of it, but we're going to be submitting those shortly to the city, and it will comprise of studio units, 1 bedrooms, 2, 3, and 3-bedroom units. We'll have 25% of each of those. The bedroom sizes set aside as affordable. 10% of the 3 bedrooms, of course, are at least will be affordable, of 3 bedrooms.
That's great. Can you tell us what other amenities are included with this particular site? I thought I read that there were a few extras.
Yes. What we hope to do is at 1 Boston Way, for example, we have a dog washing station. We have a gymnasium. We have a community building. We have an outside fire pit. We have an outside seating area, picnic area. At 3 Boston Way, where we would have the dog washing station, we'll have a bike repair shop. We're going to have a game room that will basically have a bar and a pool table set up. We'll also have a grill area on a lawn area between the 2 buildings, a yoga studio, and a spin bike studio. So those 2 buildings will have, those 2 buildings currently with those amenity spaces can interchange. So somebody lives in 1 can go to 3 to use the bike repair shop, and somebody in 3 can go to 1 to utilize the dog washing station. The 3rd building that we're building, this is what you've asked the question on, will have some similar amenities, but will also be entitled to use all of the amenities in the 1st building and the 2nd building. So when you've asked me what amenities are available to this 3rd building, all of the amenities I just mentioned to you in the 1st and 3rd, I mean, the 1st and 2nd building will be available. And then in the 3rd building, we're going to have a pool area. We may have a roof deck, and we'll have, we're planning right now an exterior commercial space that we hope that may serve for bike rental and certain refreshments, power drinks, water, things that will play off of the rail trail as well. There'll also be a community space and a potential business center, so that any resident, any affordable unit resident in any one of the 3 buildings will have access to all 3 amenity spaces.
That's great. It's a little campus down there.
Yeah, that's exactly, well, thank you. That's exactly what we're hoping to create, a campus. And we have a very diverse population group. We have, as well as, the people living in the affordable units, we have young professionals who are renting some of our studio units. We have people who are downsizing, selling homes. People in their older, up to, we have some people in their 80s who've sold their homes and moved here. They have kids in Newburyport, want to be next to their children. So we have a very diverse group, and hopefully our amenities will, we have such a wide variety of amenities. We have something that will suit nearly everybody that will occupy one of our buildings.
That's great. Madeline Nash, who is on the trust, who could not be here, wanted to ask if there were any plans for an outdoor play space, like playground area.
We will have, typically these type of developments do not attract, for whatever reason, do not attract people with a lot of kids. So we don't have many children, but we are creating an outside area in between the 2 buildings. We'll have a grill area and some open space, as well as the majority of the people that we have at our existing building who have children utilize the rail trail almost exclusively. They're on bikes and strollers, and they're going down the rail trail. We kids on skateboards. It's very, I can tell you this, anybody with children, there's a lot to do within the surrounding area. We do have some land across the street. We were hoping to create some kind of outside space there, but that is kind of walking trails and potentially a dog walk, but that's something that we're exploring, but we haven't presented to the city yet.
Thank you. Any other questions from the trust, or any additional information?
No, I'll just say that the building right near the rail trail, I see it all the time because I use a rail train. It really looks nice. And I do see a lot of people, you know, out and about, and it seems like a nice community.
Thank you. Most people that live there feel that way. We rented the entire building in the first month that it became available, at least all the market rate. We had a long list of people for the affordable, and that was just a logistics issue as to when they rented. But essentially, we were able to rent the entire building in the first month. We have at least 10 people on a waiting list for each unit type, from a studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. So at a minimum, we have 40 people on our waiting list. We have created a waiting list for the second building because we actually have people who, even though they know it's not going to be completed for a year and a half, want to be put on a list and looking forward to moving into the new unit. It's certainly become a community. They're impromptu events that the tenants themselves hold. I know at 3 days before 4th of July, about 30 of them, 35 of the tenants got together and called me up the day before to come down and cook hamburgers, and they celebrated 4th of July. It's really becoming a strong community, and I think when we get more units online, and it becomes there'll be more opportunities to create this stronger community, as you said.
That's great. So remind me, so 3 Boston Way is when is that? When will that be open and operational?
Okay, so 3 Boston Way is the building. If you go down Boston Way, you know the building that is completed. Right after that, there was the ambulance facility. We have torn that building down. We've put footings and foundations in. We expect to be ready in about a year and a half. So that will come online within a year and a half. And obviously, we'll be maintaining a waiting list for the affordable units, and suspect that will be a quicker lease up for the affordabilities than one. But that'll be about 18 months from now, maybe a little less. But
and 166, 168, what's the projection on that?
Well, that is really, I think, a little bit depending upon how quickly the approval process will go with the town. Or city, I should say. That could be within 2.5 years, could be completed. Hopefully, I'd like to pull a building permit within a year, if we could do that. But if it takes 9 months to get an approval, but after approval, we've got probably 4 months worth of working drawings, and then submittal to the building department, which has 30 days, but it usually goes to 60, and then we'll start construction.
Great. That's a nice cadence, it's just, it feels, it feels like things are moving finally post-COVID. And you have a demand, which is fantastic.
Yes, we have a tremendous demand for the affordability, for the affordable units. And, I've been doing this for a long time, over 50 years. And I started out, my first job was an executive director of the North Andover Housing Authority. And I did that for 13 years, and then did consulting work for HUD, and probably built close to 1,500 units of subsidized housing at a housing authority level, and for other housing authorities throughout the state, and then as well as 40Bs and 40Rs. But I could say that the demand for affordability, although it was always great, I don't think it's ever been greater than it's been within the last 2 years. There's a lot of work ahead of all of us to address not only affordable housing, but housing in general.
That's exactly true. And we are sort of have that missing middle problem also rearing its ugly head in Newburyport. So yeah, that's a conversation for another time. So
Well, hopefully we can address a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know, the answer to really affordable housing is it's a supply and demand issue. If there's, you know, if this supply is so thin, then demand increases, and then everybody pricing just it continues to escalate. You know, I have friends that do development in other areas where the barrier of entry for development is not as difficult. I mean, when I tell them how long it takes for us to permit projects, they can't believe it. You know, they can get developments approved in 6 months to a year. And, you know, let's look at how long we started here in Newburyport with the 40R district was probably 5-6 years ago. And I started looking at this project 10 years ago. And we're doing a 331 unit project in Lynn, and that was a 7-year process, and the city wanted it. So I think we'll only address housing is when we can address the supply issue. Just we need a lot more supply coming online.
Absolutely. Anyone additional questions? Karen? Is Brian still on? Yes, okay. Sorry,
It
I
looks
can't
like
see.
he's still on. He just
Okay,
doesn't have his video on.
okay, yeah, I can't see. Lou and Karen, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us an overview of this new project. It's very exciting. And come back anytime. Keep us posted.
Okay, will do, and keep up the good work from your end. And anytime you would like us to participate, we're more than happy to do so.
Wonderful.
Great,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
There,
you.
thanks.
Awesome. Back to the agenda. So we have a vote on the trust signatory. Are we able to do this vote? Tonight we have a quorum, so do you want to take us through this, Caitlin or Andy?
I'm sorry, what will be the vote tonight?
The trust signatory. So basically, I think there has to be a vote for me to sign.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see any reason why you wouldn't want to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I should note for the record, I was going to mention this at some point tonight, that the council did vote to approve the order, an ordinance change. We have to record a new document at the registry, so we'll be providing that to you accordingly.
Okay.
But I don't see any reason at this point why you couldn't take away or square away the trust signatory.
Okay. So does everyone understand what this is?
So what is this, just that you can sign things on behalf of the trust?
Yeah.
Susan? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make a motion that you can sign things on behalf of the trust.
I will second that.
Oh, hi, Mayor. Thanks for
Hi.
joining. All in favor?
Aye.
I have to do a roll call vote because you're on remote.
Oh. You have to do a roll call.
Oh, roll call. Okay. Karen Weiner,
Yes.
Donna Holiday,
Yes.
Brian Reisch.
Yes.
Very good. Oh, and Suzanne Cameron. Yes. The vote passes. Thank you. All right. On to, I'm going to need a little help with this one, either Andy or Caitlin. The stables at Bashaw Farm.
Yes, so before you is the application, the local initiative program application for local action units, and this is for the stables at Bashaw Farm Development by Colby Farm Lane. You may remember this last year came through from the planning board. There's going to be one affordable unit included, and this application goes to DHCD for signature, and it shows you what the sale price will be, and it also includes at the end of the document the marketing plan, which I hope you got to take a look at. But it includes, includes kind of the situation we're in with COVID, and as you can see, it talks about having the lottery via Zoom, and also being able to download the application online.
Wait, am I looking at that correctly? The affordable price is 336,000?
That's right.
The affordable price is 336,000? How can that be?
336. Yep. Yep, this is based on a calculator that DHCD provides. So the numbers.
I mean, just in my work with CHAPA with the pricing, it has gone into the 200s, which is a lot higher than it used to be, but I've never seen anything that high.
Yeah, we can double check, but I mean, that's the number they spit out, right? So.
Yep, that's the number. You can see the flyer here that will go out to people and be advertised.
Are these like workforce units or something? Like not the lower end?
There's nothing special about these.
I'm just shocked by that price. Doesn't seem very affordable to me. I mean, I realize it's a lot less than market rate these days, but it still is a lot for
I don't know
some.
if the fact that it's 3-bedroom makes a difference or.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the market
we
rate
note that
units,
this
I can say
local
range
action-
between- Oh, sorry.
So I was going to note that this local action process is the same thing that would be done with the Hillside project. It's these local permits that were issued, non-40B. This,
Right.
is an insurance that obviously these are affordable, but also that they get added to the subsidized housing inventory.
Right, but usually my understanding is DHCD uses the same formula that we do for 40B, and that I'm just shocked it's that high. But I guess I'm just, for the record, asking that you check with them, make sure it was calculated correctly.
Yeah, I think that's a good point for us to do that. It does seem like a high number. Of course, we've seen exorbitant housing prices in Newburyport, but I think it's worthwhile for us to double check that.
Yeah, but I agree, it's crazy in Newburyport, but it's supposed to be based on income eligibility, not
Right.
a comparison to the market rate prices. So, I mean, I know the area median income has gone up, but gee.
Well, with a 80% AMI for a family of 4 at 101, that kind of that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Rule of thumb,
Sadly-
3 times, right? 3 times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I would say, I believe-
normally we're looking at a figure of 85, right? Like we're looking at the 80% of AMI for a family of 4 is like typically in the 80, but it
Right.
jumped. It really did jump.
Really
So
jumped. Yeah. Okay. What are the market rates market rate
I was
units?
going to say that they're going between 700 and 800,000 each.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, this to me is more, which we need this middle income housing too.
we
but
do.
to me, it's sort of more middle income than lower income.
Yeah.
Okay. I just request that you just make sure they do their calculations right.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. To me,
Doesn't
this
hurt to
illustrate
check.
that there's a much larger housing issue we have than any of these, smaller units that we're adding to the inventory can address. I mean, we should continue to do that, of course.
Right.
But there's a much larger systemic problem if the affordable units are getting into the $300,000 range. So.
Okay.
Yep. So I will, I'll confirm that this, this calculation is correct. The only issue I saw with this was that they must have looked at the website and saw the 2 code shares here. So maybe we'll put Suzanne as the person who's going to sign it. And also they had included Judy's old email. So
Judy can't shake the trust. She's getting
sure they
copied on
note that.
everything.
Yeah, they're on the tennis courts. The issue with the parks and they want schools to be a lead on it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I've got to go to budget and finance, another
Okay.
meeting. So,
Thank you.
but please don't forget that Bob Courier is on, and he is going to be reviewed by the council for the open seat on the Affordable Housing Trust. I met with him today.
Wonderful.
He's here, and I just think it'd be nice if you gave him a couple minutes just to introduce himself to all of you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Have a good meeting. Sorry.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
No worries.
Could I actually ask, only because I actually was hoping to join the mayor at that other budget and finance meeting, if there's any agenda items you wanted me to speak to, if I could do those first?
No, I was hoping one of you could go through the staff report. I know we've covered some of that already, but if there's anything else that you want to review, that would be great at this point.
Andy, do you have any updates about Brown School? I don't know if I would be able to update them on that.
Yeah, I think other than it, I'm sure Caitlin can update you. The Brown School is the only thing I think I would note at this time. We're expecting some results on the phase 2 testing or hazmat testing, asbestos and lead and things like that, underground storage tank, just to make sure we understand the order of magnitude for cost there. We do have obviously some ongoing issues there and debate about whether or not NYS can stay. We met with Tracy from the Housing Authority yesterday, walked through the building. We're sort of on the same wavelength about the fact that to make a viable project, you really need the entire core building. To do that actually trying to use just the 2 upper floors and keeping a city facility or operation on the first floor does not make a viable project. That's been said numerous times over the years, but we're a bit constrained right now by the zoning amendment that assumes the first floor be used by NYS and that there'll be a maximum of 20 units in the building, presumably on the upper 2 floors. And parking and park space sort of divided up on the outside, to correspond. But it's not clear yet what those results will be, but in a couple of weeks' time, we'll have a better idea of what those order of magnitude costs are and issues are from our consultant. And that's going to help us to make some decisions about what the future of the Brown School is. But certainly from my perspective, I've said this for years, I'm not convinced that trying to have several different, goals out of that property at the same time is necessarily feasible. And certainly trying to do a housing project at a relatively small scale in a very complicated building where there's cost for all kinds of utility upgrades. It seems obvious that the whole building needs to be done that way, and NYS would potentially need to find another home. But all that being said, we're hopeful to have some much more progress in the coming months in the city's discussion of what to do there, rather than the stalemate I guess we've had for a number of years now since it's been transferred from the school department. But that the Housing Authority is interested in partnering with us, regardless of whether or not we have a developer, a nonprofit, or the Housing Authority. We do obviously need to make some further steps here, and make some decisions about this as opposed to kicking the can down the road any further.
Yes, agreed.
I would say, by the way, if the Housing Authority, as we go forward in those discussions in a couple of weeks, Caitlin can keep you advised as to what we get from the consultants. But certainly as the council is having discussions, whether it's this term or the next term, about the future of the Brown School, to the extent the Housing Trust has said for years that it'd be important to use municipal property that's quote surplus or quasi surplus, depending on what proceeds come in. I think it'd be important to, perhaps from the trust perspective, to advocate obviously for the percentage of affordability, the depth of affordability, or the scale of the project, number of units, in whatever way you think makes sense. But we'll all collectively as city officials need to make some decisions so that these lingering issues and questions about the Brown School costs and maintenance issues and things like that, needs for NYS and affordable housing needs can be somehow addressed at long last.
All right, great. Thank you, Andy. You can go to your other meeting. Okay.
Thank you. I apologize.
No worries. No worries. So I just wanted to just go through a couple of things. So a couple of things that were approved. We had asked City Council to increase our membership from 5 to 7. That was approved. We're really happy about that. We wanted to add more perspective and scope and talent to this body, and so we're working on that. Mr. Courier, I will have you speak up in just 1 second. I just want to get through a couple more things. We were also approved for $200,000 for an emergency rental assistance program. I would like to ask the trustees if you would consider a working session outside of our regular meeting, because I think we just need a little deeper dive on in the discussion. It will be a public meeting, obviously, but I think we need to set some time aside to just really focus on that program and what it will look like. In addition, I'd like us to look at the housing rehab program again and talk about other uses for those funds, especially those that will help with energy efficiency and greening a property. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think we can settle on a day outside of this meeting, but I would like us to think about doing that, please. I as chair, I will never ask you to do this, but this time I have to ask. So because it's just too important, I don't want this to linger. Karen?
I'm just wondering if it would be helpful for us to have anyone else at that meeting, like someone who's done this already in another town or something.
Absolutely.
Like
I think that's the time to bring us together for brainstorming and making sure we want it to be, and obviously want to hear from the community and making sure we're getting it right for folks who may need this, right? And landlords and others. So
I just want it to be a productive meeting. And I feel like if it's only the trust members among us, we may not have the experience or expertise to know how to implement something like this, because I know it's not done that often. So
No, absolutely. That's a great point. So you'll be hearing probably from Caitlin, and we'll set some time aside that works for everybody. And, you know, I'm not talking about like a retreat for a whole day. I'm talking about a couple of hours. Okay. It's not like a big deal. Okay.
No problem.
Okay, good.
That sounds good.
All right, great. What else did I want to say? I think that's it. So, Mr. Courier, would love to hear from you. Tell us about yourself and your interest in joining us. You're on mute.
How's that? Much better?
That's better.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, anyway, thank you very much for listening to me tonight. We had a really interesting meeting. I want to say thank you to Suzanne and Karen and Brian and Madeline, all of you. And it'll be nice, hopefully, working with you and coming up with some collaborative efforts to try to come up with more solutions to affordable housing. My background is I've been in the city for 45 years, and I've been on numerous boards in the city. I was on the Historical Commission. I was on the Redevelopment Authority for 10 years. And I'm a strong advocate for housing, especially for affordable housing. And I work for Stratford Capital, which is a private equity firm in Peabody for the last 15 years. I've just recently retired. And they have done all kinds of affordable housing in Massachusetts. And I learned a lot working with them, and they've got a pretty good reputation, and the mayor is familiar with them as well as other members in town. So that's it. Do you have any questions of me?
Anyone? I'll open the floor.
Sure.
First of all, welcome, Bob. You know, so I'm just curious. I've heard of Stratford Capital. I don't know that much about them. I'd be interested in hearing more and what your own professional expertise is in that and how you worked with them.
Okay, that sounds fine. What I did for them is I was their real estate person. I'm a commercial and industrial real estate broker. My job was to find them affordable housing buildings, either old schools or mill buildings, something that we could use for investment tax credits. And sometimes there's land along with the mill buildings of the schools that can be also used to build new construction for affordable housing. So we did that continuously, and they really have won a lot of awards. They own probably around 25,000 units of housing. So they've got a substantial amount of housing nationwide. But their headquarters is here in Peabody, and they're a very good bunch of people. They were fun to work with, and I learned a lot from them, which I'm willing to bring to the board.
Great, wonderful, thank you.
A
Welcome.
quick hello, Bob. We have a mutual friend, Terry, who emailed to get you on the
Yes,
Zoom link.
right, Brian. Terry's right here with me.
All right, hi, Terry.
Great. Well, welcome and thank you for that.
Thank you so
And
much,
we'll
Rick.
look forward to you joining us
Yep.
at some future date.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne.
We have to table approval of minutes from May 6th and June 17th because Donna's not here, or Mayor Holliday is not here, and Madeline is not here. So we don't have a quorum as related to the minutes. So we will table that for next time. As you can see, I'm a stickler for being on time. I will never, ever keep you past an hour unless I'm forced, which
This
is
one of the most efficient meetings we've ever had.
Yeah, good job, Suzanne. You're good at meetings.
yeah, I want us to have quality time together, and yeah, we're going to stay on point. So,
Hi, Suzanne, this is Caitlin. Can I ask
yes.
one point of clarification?
yes,
So as you can imagine, the developer is eager to get going on this Bashaw farm. project
Yes.
and the marketing, the lottery and all of that. So pending confirmation from the lottery agent that the sales price is correct and the typos with the email address for Judy's email, should there be a vote to, have you sign this document on behalf of the trust?
I thought what that the earlier vote was. Or is that
The
not
vote,
right?
that vote, the number 4 is just, I think was in general that you would be signing documents on behalf of the trust. But I guess I just want to know for number 5, if you are all, I guess, in support of the document and didn't find anything wrong with it, we can go forward with you signing that.
Okay. So would you like a motion on this, Caitlin?
I think so. A motion that pending confirmation from the lottery agent that the sales price is correct, that the trust would support you signing the document on their behalf.
Okay.
So moved.
Second? Anyone? Brian?
I'll second, yes.
All right. All in favor? Roll call. Karen?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Suzanne, yes. The vote passes.
Okay,
Thank you, Caitlin. Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
my daughter just came in the house and she's screaming like a banshee. Okay, so let's talk about our next meeting. I know that Madeline is not available for November 4th, and so we were looking at October 28th. Caitlin, I don't know, you've got the schedule.
Well, if we want to keep our Thursday nights, which it seems like we have been doing that for a couple of years, that it's tough because we have historical commission meetings. So you
Okay.
could either do the 21st, which is a little bit early if you want, or the 18th. November is kind of tricky with Veterans Day and Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I guess your options are the 21st or November 18th. You can think about it and check your calendars and get back to me if you'd like.
Okay. Okay.
I'm fine with either one.
Okay.
All right. I think I'm probably fine with either one too, but then we want to carve out a couple of hours in addition. So we can talk about that.
Perhaps you do both dates. One of them is the targeted
Mhm.
assistance discussion. The other is just a general trust meeting.
How does that feel?
Yeah.
For everyone, since everyone's free, right? So yeah, let's do that. Let's try to get a working group together for the 21st, because I think that's a little quick for us to have another trust meeting. And then we'll have our regular meeting on November 18th.
All right, sounds good. I'll let Madeline know and also the mayor as well.
Not to
Wonderful.
mention, October 28th is CHAPA's annual dinner. So
Oh,
other places to be that night.
that's right. I have other
Anyone
cameras
who
to
can
look
make
into
it,
that night. Oh, gosh. Well, anything else for the good of the order?
Not from me, thank you.
All right. Well,
Thanks, Suzanne.
thank you. This meeting is adjourned at 6:49 p.m. That is right?
That is like the most efficient meeting.
And we started late. We
Do
started at
we need a
6:03.
motion to adjourn it, or can you just adjourn it?
Oh, yes, we could motion to adjourn. Karen. We'll be official.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second. All in favor? Aye. We don't need that. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. All right.
Thank
Have
you.
a great evening, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much,
your
everybody.
contribution.
Thanks, Suzanne.
All righty.
Thank you.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.